Chapter 3 concerns second declension masculine nouns and adjectives. That's the most important thing. The grammatical concept of apposition, and then a few notes on word order. So the second declension is identical to the first declension in that there are 5 cases that all nouns go through. Once again, those are nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. And you want to kind of get that rhythm of cases in your head. And then you've got that list of 10 endings, 5 cases in the singular, 5 cases in the plural, that you're memorizing. So it's the same as the first declension, it's just a different set of endings.
Got it.
So same rules, just a different set of endings. So I'll put those on the board, and as soon as the clip is done and your hands are free, I will want you to make a flashcard like now.
Oh, okay.
Forget it. But let me just go over what will be on the flashcard. So on one side you'll have your second, in English, second declension endings. Again, declensions are the sets of forms that nouns go through, whereas conjugations are the sets of forms that verbs go through. So these are second declension endings on one side of your card, and then you'll flip it over, and on the other side, it might be helpful to make a table if you want to. You don't have to. But in your table, you can label one column singular and one column plural, and then list the 5 cases, but leave a spot at the bottom. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and I just abbreviate them with 3 letters each, ablative. And then we'll list our endings. And it's really that list of endings that you have to memorize and recite to yourself until they're totally in your head. So the usual ending that tells you a noun is in the second declension is us. It's the usual ending, second declension masculine us. Sometimes you'll see nouns that end with er. So you'll see either us or in the nominative singular. Genitive singular is e, long I. Dative singular is o, long o. Accusative singular is short u, m. Ablative singular is o. So your singular endings are us, e, o, o. So you just get used to rattling those off. Us, e, o, o. Let's say them together.
Us, e, o, o.
And then in the plural, e, so we have that long I again. Olerum.
Looks like a T.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying. No, even when I was looking in the book,
You're right.
it just looks like a T.
It looks like a T. I have to separate my long mark from my I. Olerum. Is in the dative. Os in the accusative plural. Is in the ablative plural. So e, orum, is, os, is. Let's say this together.
E, orum, is, os, is.
So as you're reciting and memorizing your second declension endings, just crank through those. Us, e, o, e, orum, is, os, is. And just get kind of used to doing it. This, to my knowledge, is the only declension in which the vocative is different from the nominative. Remember, the nominative case is for the subject of a sentence. It's just like the plain form of the word. The vocative is for when you're talking to someone. So if I say, Fiona, greetings, or hello, Fiona, I'm talking to you in the vocative. Or if I say, Katie, do something, or students, do something, I'm talking to them. So the nominative ending becomes in the vocative singular for nouns that end in us.
Okay.
So if you've got a noun that ends in us, its vocative singular form is going to be So for example, the name Marcus, in the vocative, if you were talking to Marcus himself, you'd say Marca. Like I had a little friend when I was 5 years old named Marky. So yeah, Marca. Or what's another word? Servus means a servant. Serve, you're talking to the person. So the us becomes in the vocative, so you'll just put that on your card too. It is, I'm like 99.9% certain, the only time that the vocative is different from the nominative, which is why when you guys memorize, you only have to do 5 cases. Don't bother memorizing the separate vocative, even though that's in the book. So these are our endings. Now, can you see any similarities between these second declension endings and our first declension?
The plural one.
Yep, good. You've got, these plurals are identical to the first declension, right?
Mhm.
This is similar, because in the first declension, the accusative plural is what?
It was
It's right over there on the board.
I'm just gonna look it.
Swing the camera
It's gonna
over there
be-
so she can see it.
It would be AS,
Yeah.
but
Os
with
and
the
os.
line over it.
Yeah, os and os, really similar. So when you see those on a noun, os or os, you can pretty much bet that's okay, that's accusative plural.
What's that band? Oats and.
Mares eat oats.
Yeah.
Oats and honey.
What is that one? The one guy was named Oats, and who else was it?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think of whenever I hear oats.
Oh, that's gonna bug me. I know what you're talking about. That is gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to edit this out of the clip, darn it. Okay, and this is similar too, right? The in the accusative. Over in our first declension nouns, the accusative singular is So in our second declension, the accusative singular is So the M is kind of a giveaway. Okay, that's gonna be an accusative singular, probably the direct object of my sentence, or maybe it's following a preposition. So you can kind of look for similarities to help you remember these things.
Oh, I see it. Because instead of the A, it has the U. Alrighty. That makes a difference.
Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. You just find the base of the noun and stick these endings on. Nouns that end in ER can be a little bit more confusing. So to take an example, puer means boy, and ager means field. Puer keeps the E, and you just stick the endings on it. So the genitive is pueri, the dative is puero, the accusative is puerum, puero. So when you memorize your vocabulary, you're memorizing the nominative and the genitive and the gender. Puer, pueri, masculine. But ager is different. The E drops out in the genitive. So it's ager, agri, masculine. So when you're declining it, you drop the E out. So it isn't ageri, it's agri. The E drops out. So you lose it here. So you just have to be aware that when you're declining a masculine noun in the second declension that ends in ER in the nominative, like this, you might be dropping the E out when you add the other endings.
Okay.
So
So
we'll practice some declensions just so you can kind of see that difference.
got it.
Okay. There's a unique masculine noun, vir, which means man as in male. It's unique because it ends in IR, but it takes these endings just like a second declension masculine noun. So vir is the nominative, viri, viro, virum, viro. So it's a little bit irregular because it has an IR, but it gets the second declension endings. Okay. Turn it off, end the clip, and let's read through the declensions on